Hey, good evening, everybody. Gibson, I see you're ready to go. See if
Yes.
the boss is in position. Welcome, everybody, to our evening, morning, afternoon session, wherever you are in the world, as is appropriate. Excited to have Gibson's class this evening, or this morning, or this afternoon. Geshe Michael, it looks like I caught a glimpse of you. There you are. Good.
What are you
Thank you so
matching my
much.
haircut? You're matching my hair on top.
Yeah, every now and then the wife gets upset and just chases me down with the clippers for something I've
Looks
done.
like a lawnmower. I don't know.
That's it. That's what she uses typically.
All
Yeah,
right.
not the electric kind either. Just manual. She just rolls
Gasoline.
it back and
That,
Uh-oh.
that's what happens when you make fun. Gibson,
Hey, again.
good morning.
Good evening.
Hey, Gibson, you're supposed to open your second eye also when it's morning.
Which second
Okay,
eye?
homework time.
Okay.
Homework time.
Let me see.
Oops.
Oops, not this one.
Maybe I can turn up the sound. I can't turn it up louder.
Can you see my homework?
Yes.
Okay. So the first
We can
question
see it,
is
but we can't answer it.
for what reason does Jason Kaba assert that Buddha is an matchless teacher for teaching the dependence?
Because he doesn't smoke?
In the last
No.
class, yeah.
He taught
I hate it when
dependence with the emptiness frosting.
Oh yeah, cool answer. Thank you, Oscar.
lounge rights,
Yes,
CG.
No,
Buddha didn't just teach about dependent, he taught dependent with emptiness, much like similar roles with frosting. Okay, and Jason Kaba say he doesn't see other teachings in the same way like Buddha did. So what is the Tibetan for deep dependence?
Deep dependence.
Pendrell Sabmo.
Yeah, dangerous Samo or Samo danger. Is there any difference? Because I think these two ways are using the text. Samo danger and danger Samo.
I think they're the same,
Okay.
right, Geshe?
Near the same.
Some will sounds nice.
Okay. Okay. So the second question, why the master Tsongkhapa compare the fox and the lion when praising the Lord Buddha? And who does the fox refer to, and who does the lion refers to?
The fox is those other teachers, and the lion is Lord Buddha, because he's straight and yeah.
So what is the other teacher? He
Are they
pointed
the,
out those.
are they the six?
Yeah, two of the six.
Non-Buddhist teachers. Oh, okay. I forget which.
Yeah, the river group. Thank you. Or yeah, Mudechen. So the fox refers to the river group, while the lion represents the Lord Buddha. So Lama Christopher is questioning whether you can consider the river group as a fully qualified teacher one who told dependent without antennas. It's like calling the fox a lion. So what is the Tibetan for a fully qualified teacher?
Oh,
Hmm.
Tangwa.
Yeah, Oscar. Zangwa. Yeah, Zangwa. One there's a Zangwa in the Tibetan. So what is the teacher?
Lama.
Let me see. Chenni Changwei Dun. So Chenni Changwei Dun is a fully qualified teacher. Yeah, cool. All right, the next question. J. Kaba praised Lord Buddha, stating that he was amazing and served as a shelter for those in fear, as well as a protector who is infallible. So why did J. Kaba use the word infallible?
Because Buddha taught emptiness, the ultimate truth.
Because Buddha taught emptiness ultimate. Okay. And is there any guess? Is a good guess.
Let's try MacBooks.
Imagine that you are in the fear and you go to the Buddha for attack, and he will never say
let
what
you down.
Yeah, he will never let you down. Thank you. So when people who are in fear come to Lord Buddha for protection, he never turn them down away. Okay, and he's ready. He doesn't say come back tomorrow. So what is amazing in Tibetan?
Meichung or
Emao.
Yeah, Ngotabo is a synonym, but what is Jizong Kappa using here? It start with A. Yeah, Emaho.
Emaho. Oh, yeah, Emaho.
Okay.
Isn't that more like, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Wondrous. And what grammar case does Emaho belong to?
Vocative?
Yeah, vocative. Thank you, word. Cool. So I have did some translation. Let me see. Last time we go to, let me see. Chat. Let me see here. So here is my translation. Should I read it first?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. 你把电招其他西行顺北处了顺，让心动把电招起顿土顺处，để他马都拿电北宁波米都把电把都拿顿把啦车咩铁把给我电把哦。
Okay, let's check. The language sometimes presumes Nipa tenda chitaskishin spiritual. Good. Process of 3 parts. Yeah, good. Teaching if one fails to realize the essence, what is the meaning of independence and some things? Okay. The teaching if one develops a reasonable faith towards the teacher. One last day. Yeah, that's good. Or actually, if one understands that, then they will develop reasonable faith towards the teacher. See, I mean, you got to reverse
it's other way. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good. The rest is good. Let's keep going. You want to keep reading?
Yeah. 唐伯那尼给把电把糖举电电把哦。
Yeah, the first of these parts has 2 sections of its own: a detailed presentation and a summary presentation. Good. That's good. 46.
46. 唐伯那尼东把糖电照顿气图米对北写吧 미도바 덴바탕, 동바탕, 덴저 둔치바 투베, 셰바 추적 투주바오.
The first of these sections has two subsections of its own, demonstrating that people who don't accept emptiness are the same. That depends, will not realize the position of anyone. Yeah, those who don't accept that the meaning of emptiness and dependent origination are the same don't really understand what the Buddha position, and that not accepting the second one is proving that the ultimate position of Lord Buddha is that emptiness and dependence are the same thing. Whoa, that's not true, right? Emptiness is negative, dependence is positive. But it says here the ultimate idea of Lord Buddha is that emptiness and dependence are the same. Okay, and that's the foundation of this whole text. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right,
So here is, this is my last translation. 담보니 펜제 큐키 시속 직제니 기tun라.
Yeah. Okay. Good. By the way, Gibson, when you don't make bold letters in the opening line, okay?
Oh yeah, I found that.
Okay, so it'll come later. Yeah.
All right.
Nice
Okay,
job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Gibson.
As usual, good job. All right, let's go to New Jersey. I think we're here. Am I right? No. Yeah, you did this. Oh, okay. We're going to skip the root text so we can go faster because the root text is inside of the commentary anyway. Okay, and if you're interested, which part is the root text? You just look at the bolded part. Gibson, can you read one more time this paragraph and then you can pick on other people like Oscar?
Yeah. Okay. 투니 펜바 제바 큐키 두제 조알라 멘베 레투 가첼베 덴베님보 랑신키 동바니 녜바 쳬베 유첸 남탑 첸 다메 바니.
Good. What's Pemba Zepa mean?
The one who benefit the other.
Yeah, you like to help people, and it's referring to Lord Buddha because how do we know that?
Super honorific.
Yeah, super honorific, high honorific Zepa. Okay, and in fact, the word for the deeds of the Buddha is the 12 great deeds. Is Zepa Chuni. The 12 great deeds. So you enjoy helping people. Dulja?
Dulja, 10 or disciple.
Yeah, and here's a mistake in the carving. It says here, you mumba towards Joa. What's that mean?
Make prayer?
Yeah, you make prayers for all beings. And that wasn't what the root text said. The root text said memba, not mumba. Memba means
help.
Yeah, you want to help. What does men mean in Menla? Medicine Buddha. Okay, so men means medicine, Oshada, or it means to help somebody. Okay, you want to help everybody. Therefore, you katsepa.
You open your mouth and teach.
The ningbo the temba.
The essence of the teaching.
Yeah, and the essence of that teaching is that things are rang shinki tomba.
Yeah, nothing have any nature of its own.
From its own side, right? Like the pen does not exist from. That's all. And the root text says Gibson, which means the reason you taught people about emptiness. But our commentator, who's our commentator?
Lama Quicksilver.
Yeah, he says reason here means tough. Method. Yeah, he says you are giving people a method for seeing emptiness. Okay, you are giving people a method for seeing emptiness, and your method is Denda Mepa Gibson.
Matchless, peerless.
Yeah,
Peerless.
there's no competition, no possible competitor. The best way to teach emptiness in the universe is to teach dependence, which in our language is seeds. Okay, that things are coming from seeds. Okay. Okay, Gibson, you get to pick on people now.
Geshe, can I ask a quick question?
Okay, yep.
Is Rangxing Gi Tongpa Ni a weird syntax? Like, would it usually be Rangxing Gi Tong or Rangxing Gi Tongpa? Is it like saying like things are emptiness of having any nature of their own?
Yeah, in English we say of, in Tibetan you say by.
Oh, I was more referring to the ni.
The ni in Tombani?
Yeah.
Oh, it just means emptiness. Yeah.
Yeah. Emptiness of any nature.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, it is a little strange, but he's trying to get in the root text. It is a little odd. It's a little odd, but he's trying to squish in the root text. Yeah. It says emptiness of any nature.
Yeah.
And Nick says, why did he say emptiness of any nature when he could have said empty of any nature?
The bold, obviously, it's root text.
He's just trying to catch the root text.
Of course.
He's pushing the root text. He's cramming in the root text, even though it's not smooth. Okay. All right. Gibson, pick on somebody.
Yeah, Oscar.
Oscar.
Hola. Pinchin Trelpar, Chunwei Sul Tetak, Yimpala Ngu Mawe Kiapa, Ngalwa Tangni, Mutek Petak, Matur Marton Shindu, Pandi Itumpa, Kyukiluk, Laname Pandi, Jitar Kondu, Chuparnu, Yur Temingyur Ro Shepao.
Good. So either we have to check the scan. Either he left out a word of the root text. The root text includes the word new, which the last word here, which means capable. And he left it out in the commentary. Whether it's a carving error, we don't know. Okay, but the meaning is similar. So I'll say it this way. Let's consider all things. They are empty because they occur in dependence. Or you can say they depend on seeds. Let's consider all the things in the universe. They are empty because they depend on seeds. Okay? What's the reason? What did I give as a reason? Because they depend on seeds, right? Which is, here he says dependent, they occur in dependence, okay? They occur in dependence. Let's take that as the reason presented. What are we trying to prove? Let's take all things, they are empty. So it's a logical statement. Consider all things, they're empty because they come from seeds, they're dependent, okay? So he says, let's consider the reason in this statement. What's the reason? Because they are dependent, okay? Ngamawa means the first, how many of the four schools? Yeah, the first three schools of Buddhism are called Ngamawa. Why, Gibson?
Because they think that thing exists because they function.
Yeah, if a thing does something, it must be real. You can't tell me something's not real if it does something, okay? So they are called the does something schools. Okay, Ngamawa, the first three schools, okay? So if I say to you, let's consider all things, they are empty because they're dependent, what reply would the first three schools give? By the way, this argument is being presented by the fourth school, by the highest school. Let's consider all things, they're empty because they come from seeds. And then the three lower schools would say, Kyaba Gel. They would say you're wrong, and they would say in fact it's the Kyaba is wrong here. What's the kyaba? If something is coming from seeds, it must be empty. Okay. And they would say opposite, gawa. What's that? If something comes from seeds, it cannot be empty. If it does something, it cannot be empty. We say things are empty because they come from seeds. They say, well, duh, if something comes from seeds, it can't be empty. It makes it real. Okay, got it? Got it? So to our statement, let's consider all things. They are empty because they are coming from seeds. We would say, kabamachun. Just because it comes from seeds doesn't prove it's empty. In fact, if it comes from seeds, it proves it's not empty. Okay, they would say kabagyo. Now, that's the way the three lower Buddhist schools would respond to that argument. How would the Mutekpas respond? What's our new translation for Mutekpa, Tirthaka?
River groups.
The river schools. Okay, I like it. Tirthaka means they sit on little rocks in the river, and they think that if they sit on little rocks in the river, they will get the blessings of the Ganges River and go to heaven. Okay, so they're called sit on little blocks in the river school. And I invented a new translation, the river schools. Okay, all right. The river schools say, what would they say to that argument? Let's do it again. Now the opponent is not the three lower schools. Now the opponent is a river school, which don't accept Buddhism at all. Okay, and we say, take all things, they are empty because they come from seeds, that depends. And they say, they don't come from seeds. We disagree with your reason. They don't say that just because they come from seeds, they're not empty. They don't say that. They said, well, we don't even agree with your reason. We don't believe they come from seeds. They would say, Tagmadru. Our schools would say, Kyabamachun. Okay, these are both ways of objecting to a logical statement. Okay, so that Mutekpas, the river guys, would say Ta Madupa, Tongshin Dupana. That's what they see. That's how they see it. This Shin is in a positive. When the root text says see it that way, it means that's what they dupa.
They accept.
That's what they believe. Okay, he's glossing see. When you see the root text in bold, and then you see another word after it, it means our author is explaining the root text. Okay, they don't see it that way means they don't dupa that way. They don't believe that. Okay, they don't accept that. But you, Tumba,
you teacher,
that's your lanamepa lu, lame, like anuttara. That's your matchless. Okay. Then Kongdachipa means what?
How do anybody know?
Kongdachipa means they don't get it. Kongdachipa means
get it.
Okay. And then in the root text, it's a what do you call a rhetorical question? How could they ever get it? Okay. The root text says, how could they ever get it? Okay, which means Mingyur. Our commentator is saying, you want to know what? Yeah, they don't get it. Okay, so Kappa says, how could they ever get it? And Mama Quicksilver says, they don't get it. Okay, he says that's what Tsongkhapa is saying. Tsongkhapa is asking a sarcastic question. You know, how could they ever get it? And then Mama Quicksilver is sitting on the same couch and he says, they don't get it. He's helping us understand Tsongkhapa. Tsongkhapa says, how can they get it? And Quicksilver says, they don't. Okay, that's what his job is. He's a commentator. Okay, the bold text is, and by the way, this should be new, right? This should have been in bold. We have to check the scan and see if new is missing. Okay. Or it might be understood. Okay, Gibson, who are you going to pick on next?
Is Rebecca there?
Yeah, come on. Don't forget you're in charge of the curse.
Right. Okay.
Slow and nice and loud.
Nipala sum rangshin ki tongpala chache te ching dok chokla min tepar shepa che tamche tendrel yinpe gyutsen ki rangshin ki tongpar sungtsu tsote tompa mawa wana mepar drupao.
Good, nice. So help me out here. Nipalasum.
The second of the
The
three.
second has three parts. And whenever, in a Tibetan commentary, they just say part two. They don't have a chapter heading. So Grandpa goes and gets them for you. Part two here is Tomba Dantenda Dunchi Tupo. We're going to prove that the ultimate position of Lord Buddha is that emptiness and dependence are actually synonymous, which is very serious. It's a very serious statement. Rosa's like, I don't believe it. And she's right. Okay. So anyway, that we're going to cover in three parts. The important word here is Gibson. The important word here is chache. Chawatan chepa. What's that mean?
The activity and the one who did it would do the activity.
Yeah, what it means is the fact that things do something, the fact that things work. Okay, chache is a short Tibetan word that means the fact that things work. Okay, and what things are tomba, but chache still works. What's that mean?
Things are empty, but they still work.
This coffee cup can be empty, but that doesn't mean it can't hold coffee. Okay, got it? That's a big, big Buddhist idea. It can be empty and still work. It can still work. Okay, chache means it can work. The way it works can work. Okay, tepa means Gibson.
Tepa normally. No.
It's all correct. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
You can be empty and do stuff at the same time. No problem. Tepa means no problem. And dokcho.
Dokcho, the other position?
Yeah, if you say the opposite, which is that if it's empty, it can't do anything. It can't work. That's mi tempo.
That's not true.
That's wrong. Yeah, that's the wrong idea. Okay, we say if it's empty, it can still work. They say if it's empty, it can't work. Okay, we say you're wrong. Okay, our position is you're wrong if you say that if things are empty, they can't work. We say if they weren't empty, they couldn't work. Got it? Cool. Okay. First point is we're going to show how stuff works even though it's empty. And it's wrong to say anything else. That's our first point. Second point, Chotamje Tendo Yimbe Gyusenki. Because Chotamje is Tendo.
Because all things are dependent.
Because everything in the universe depends on seeds. That's exactly why they are Tomba. That's why they're empty. Okay. It's not like they're two different ideas. It's because they're dependent that they're empty. Okay. All right. And because of this system, which says if things are empty, then they can work. Okay. Because of that system, because he taught that system, our Tomba is Anuttara.
It's the highest.
Yeah, it's highest of all. That's the name of the highest tantric school, by the way. Manamema. Name, Anuttara means there's nothing better. Okay, there's nothing better. In this case, it means because he taught that if things are dependent, if they're dependent, then they're truly empty. And they can only work if they're empty. Because of that, our teacher's the coolest. Our teacher's number one. Okay, got it? Okay. And okay, who's up next? Do you want to torture Rebecca some more? I have other victims here. Okay. You do the cursor.
Okay. Tangpo la sum rangshin ki tongpa la chache tepar shepa dokchok la min tepe takche tu tungwar shepa dena tendrel tongwa lekpar ngakpao.
Good. Dumbalasum means what?
The first of the
the first point, which is that if things are empty, the working of them is correct, is fine. Okay. We're going to discuss that in 3 parts. Okay. Number 1, if something is Rangsheng Kitomba, then Chacha is great.
And things that do things.
Yes. If something is empty of any nature of its own, then it can truly work correctly. Things can work. Okay. It's the first one. Secondly, Dokchok la mite. Dokchok. Sugeng had a famous dok. Yeah, the opposite. Okay, the opposite belief. What? If it's dependent, if it's empty, it can't. If it's dependent, it can't be empty. If it works, it can't be empty. Okay, that's the wrong idea. Now, tak che tu tung tua tua.
You
fall into those terrible views.
Yeah, and this is a very, very, very famous consequence of a wrong idea. Okay, it is not a wrong idea. It's a consequence of a wrong idea. So dak and che are two, and you gotta appreciate that. Dakta and cheta, yeta, meta, these are consequences, okay? If you think that things are not empty, okay, if you don't understand that things are empty, then you can fall into one of 2 extremes, okay? First, dakpa. It could last forever. Things don't change at all, okay? Does a person who doesn't understand emptiness, would they say to you, I believe nothing changes? Would they say that? I don't believe in emptiness. Okay, I don't accept that the cup is empty. Would they also say the cup never changes? No. They would not. They would not. But it's a necessary fallout from what they believe. Okay, if the cup is not empty, then it lasts forever. It would never change. Okay, it would never change. Or cheta, it would just blink out of existence. Okay, if you think that because something is dependent, it can't be empty, then really what you're saying is that nothing was ever there. Okay, or it would just be there forever. So tak and che are 2 necessary results of thinking about emptiness the wrong way. Okay? If you don't believe that the cup is dependent origination and therefore it's empty, then you believe the cup is going to last forever or that it was never there. Okay, start check tour. That's a difficult one. Okay, would they say it's going to last forever? No. Do they believe it? Yes. Why? They don't accept the seeds. Okay, got it. All right. Therefore, we should not
It's not.
Yeah, we should praise. Okay, not in one spelling means mantra, tantra. Okay, not can mean that, but it also means praise. As a verb, it means to praise. So we praise people who can see dependence. Okay, what did he not say here? Yeah, he didn't say, "Oh, you're so cool because you saw emptiness." He says, "You're so cool because you understand seeds." Okay, that's kind of different. And that's, by the way, that's the whole beauty of this poem by Tsongkhapa. He's the first person to say, you are super sexy if you understand seeds. You know, he doesn't say you are super sexy if you understand emptiness. He says, if you really understand seeds and that way you understand emptiness, you are the coolest. And it's a stotra. The whole poem is a praise of Lord Buddha. You understand seeds and you understand emptiness that way. That's the coolest understanding of emptiness I ever heard of. Okay. He refuses to praise someone for seeing emptiness if they don't understand seeds. He refuses, you know. And then he says, if you see emptiness because you understand seeds, I bow down. I bow down to you. Okay. You talk about them in the same breath. And that's that's the whole poem. You don't have to read the whole poem if you know that. Okay. He's praising, the book is called A Praise of Lord Buddha. The fine print says, because he taught dependence.
Dependent.
Because he taught seeds. I bow down to Lord Buddha. The book is called I Bow Down to Lord Buddha. The subtitle says, because he taught us seeds. Okay, cool. All right. Who's next, Gibson? We got a whole group of good victims.
Can you pick one for me?
How about Rebecca pick the next one? Let's do it that way.
All right.
Yeah. Gelsing, yay! Bodhisattva, won't you take me by the hand? She gave you a long word. Here's the cursor. You can curse also if you want.
Kyuni,
Move the cursor.
Tompa Kyuni, Namshiki, Seran Shingi, Tompa Ni Ten Chingdra, Ten Chingdra?
Yep.
Ten Chingdra, Parjunwe, Dundu Tongwana, Chutamche, Ranshingi Duma, Ne Tompatang, Ne Kapsu, Tani, Samtu, Jeche,
Chache.
Chache, Tamche, Ta, Tenden, Lume, Dunjopa, Di, Dipaang, Mingao Shing, Tumpa She Do She Pa O.
Nice. Let's hang in there. What's Tumba?
Teacher.
Well, teacher, kid. You. Namshik means at that time or at that point. Namshik Itse means at the point where you said that things were tomba,
Empty.
Of any nature of their own. Okay. And when you describe that emptiness as the meaning of Tenching Dao Juma, yeah.
Dependent.
When you describe emptiness as the meaning of dependence, okay, you saw that Chutamche,
all beings,
all things, okay, were Tongba with an S. Okay, let's go see if that's what the root text says.
Without an S.
Rangshikini Tombadong. Yeah, that's not what the root text says. Okay. And I'll tell you something cute. Okay. If we wanted to be really cool, we would do this. We would take the bold off the S. The S has been added by our commentator. Okay. He has made a verb out of Tongba.
Out of emptiness.
What's that mean?
Bye.
Yeah.
You gotta emptiness it.
Emptied.
Okay.
Okay. He made a verb out of emptiness. Emptied. They are emptied. Okay. All existing things have been emptied of their function, of their nature. Dumine, it's a tough word, Gibson. Do you know it? Dumine?
No.
It means from the beginning of all time. Okay, Dumane means since forever. It's a joke, right? Since forever. How long? Since forever. How long has this person irritated you? Dumane. Since forever. Okay. So he says, our commentator has made a cute verb out of emptiness. And he says, things have been emptied of their own nature since time with no beginning. For time with no beginning. Okay, got it? Dang. Nekapsu. But from time to time, nekapsu, from time to time, what's he going to say? Things that are empty, they've been emptied since the no beginning. But from time to time, chache. Stuff happens. Things have been emptied out since forever. But from time to time, stuff does stuff. Okay, all right. But it's all just tanido. It's just all nominally. Nominally means through pictures made from seeds. Nominally means through pictures coming out of your seeds. Okay. Things have been emptied out since time with no beginning, but every once in a while, something happens because of the words coming out of your mind. And here, words are equivalent to the pictures created by seeds. And you got to understand that. Okay, Tanya Tsamdu, just in pictures popping out of seeds. Chache, Tamche, Te, Tepa. All the working of things is Tepa. It's fine. Tepa means it's fine. No problem. Male and P. No problem. Okay. The way stuff works is fine. No problem. No problem. Okay. In fact, it's Lua Mepa.
Infallible.
Infallible means it literally says it's literally Lua Mepa means it doesn't fool you, but what it means is it's perfect. Okay. Everything happens the way it happens just right. Okay. Because it happens through pictures. It happens through words, which are pictures. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Words in this sense means pictures coming out of seeds. You have to understand that. Okay. Tope taksam. Okay. Lume, Jokpati, Dipang, Mingel. There's no contradiction here. Okay. There's no contradiction between saying that things are empty and it's all coming from seeds in your mind. No contradiction. In fact, Tumba. Perfect. It matches perfect. Perfect match. Okay. What? Things are coming out of your mind and they're empty or they're real. Okay. 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 I think that was pretty short, Gibson. If somebody was a real Gyaltse, they'd probably want to do some more.
Geshe, in the last paragraph, which Tibetan that you refer is word?
Tanye.
Tanye. Okay.
Term. But be very careful with the word term. In dependent origination discussions, the word term means mental picture. Don't think of it as a word. Okay. In the beginning, there was the word, opening words of the Bible, and it's an important statement. In the beginning, all things are pictures. It's very beautiful, very important. Okay. Okay, let's make her do one more.
Nipani Delan Dele Do Harshe Soksi Chechiki Tona.
Yeah, the root text says Baos Zalatas Da Narodoga Dog. The commentator says Manda da Narodoga Dog. They are both heavy prenasal. Ndok, say ndok. Ndok. Either spelling. LD is a heavy prenasal. Nda. ZL is a heavy prenasal. Ndok. Okay. And they're interchangeable. Okay. So he says, but some people believe the opposite. Some people believe the opposite. If they're coming from seeds, they can't be real. Something like that. Okay. Dopa. So we're going to discuss the possibility of the opposite. Okay. All right. And that's going to be, by the way, our commentator will say that thought is contained in the next verse. Okay. Some people think the opposite. We say because it's coming out of your mind, it's real. Some people think the opposite. What's that? Because it's coming out of your mind, it's not real. Okay. So now we're going to discuss those guys. How many verses are you going to devote to those guys? In this text, it's either one verse or two verses, usually. Okay. And this happens to be one verse. Okay. Probably they're not worth two verses. Okay, here we go. Who's up next, Gibson? We should have Gyaltse choose somebody? Or do you want to choose somebody online? Or you can choose somebody online.
Let's go with Harold. Harold from Guadalajara.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi, Hero.
Hey.
How's your mom?
She's good. She's good. A lot of work. Very happy with her new car.
Yay, we bought her a new car. Somebody bought her a new car. Okay, here we go. You ready? Gibson, help him out.
Okay.
So it's Tong Pala
Penny.
Penny.
Penny. Pele.
Pele.
Yeah.
Pia
Dokpa.
Tokpa.
Good.
Pe Pa Tam
Okay, tama na. Nangshinki.
Shinki
Tongbala.
Tongbala.
Jawa Chepa.
Jawa Chekpa.
Tamche.
Tamche.
Mirung.
Nirung.
Good. Stop there. Gibson, translate. Penny.
Penny. What does it mean?
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, every time he'll give the root text, and then our commentator will say, Duni, hey, you want to know what that verse means? Here's what it means, okay? And then he says, as
I said before, the opposite position.
Yeah, if you see things the opposite way as before.
Okay.
And what does the opposite way mean? Here's the explanation. If it's Rangshinki Tomba.
If things are emptiness.
Yeah, and by the way, our author repeats adding an S on it here, okay? And we got to take that out of the, it means, if you think I don't know how to spell, you have a problem. I'm making a new word. I've repeated it twice. Don't think I don't know how to spell. I have emptied. Not empty. I have empty. I've dumped out all the self-nature. I dumped it out. Okay. He made a verb out of emptiness. I emptinessized. Okay. What? The Rangshin.
The nature of the things.
Self-nature. I dumped it out. Okay. I dumped out. Now he says, if you dump out the self-nature of a thing, then chache mirung.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it can't do anything. Okay, it can't do anything. If you say that, if you take all the nature, if you all take all the self-nature out of a computer, it'll never work. That's his position. Okay, that's his position. Okay, mirung. Okay, nekapsu. There, and then he says, nekapsu.
From time to time.
Yeah, nekapsu means from time to time. Gyunde chawache.
Cause and effect work very well.
Yeah, stuff will do stuff. Stuff will do stuff. Stuff will cause other. From time to time in the universe, things are going to cause other things. And that's because they don't have tomba. They are not empty. Who's talking? Yeah, the other guy. How can you say they don't have any nature of their own when they do something? From time to time, stuff happens. Then how can you say that it's empty? It doesn't have emptiness. There is no emptiness. Okay, he says. And we say, you just fell into the yangdu. Yang
to the cliff.
Yeah, yang means abyss. Okay, like you fall off a cliff. Okay, abyss, which is called tartar, extreme views. Okay, Nyam lawa means miserable, sad. Okay, you just fell off the sadness cliff. Okay, tuma, you fell. Bye. Bye. Shadow. Shadow means somebody accepts that.
The other guy.
No, we accept it.
No.
Okay. If you say that things that are empty cannot do anything, you just fell off the cliff. Bye bye. That's what we say. Shun, she, to she. We say you just fell off a cliff. Okay, got it? He thinks he just discovered something correct. Oh, if it's empty, it can't do anything. We say, no, if it's not empty, it can't do anything. Bye bye. Ah. Okay, all right. Who's up next, Gibson? You can pick on somebody in line, or you can pick on one of the.
The Rosa available?
Yeah, she's dying to come up here. She told me. Really? Really? Yay, here she comes. You guys got to give her a hand. She makes all the mixed nuts. You don't have the mixed nuts.
It's over there. All right, so Sumpani.
Good.
This year, Yoki, Jingso,
Good.
Sing,
Sikche.
Chiki, Gitonda.
Nice. Okay, good. His third point is in the verse coming up. We're going to skip the verse so we can save time. And I think Rosa wanted to read this whole paragraph. She's begging me.
Yeah.
Just do it.
All right. Doni, Gong, Chikyu, Sam, Di, Chir, Tong.
You got the plan, Gibson.
Gumpa.
Cupa,
Yuki.
Tampalatem. Tempalaten. Shikbrel Palbu Jumwei Na Lung Nelut Tomwaleng Pardang Tamalepana Ching Tenbrel Ina. Sorry,
Denjal.
Gina Lung De Yang Ta Nya Du
Hang.
Ang
Tuang.
Kutu Net Patang
Good.
Rang Chingini Shopart Tawa
Wei.
New what's Tom Nin No Zen Bao.
Here's that box of books that Rosa has created. Okay, I think it's 6,000 pages of translations. And that's what we've done in the mixed nuts so far, 7 years of hard work. And it's all these beautiful books created by Rosa. Yay. And Rob Ressinger. Yay. Okay, the congregation chair because of the what?
Because the reason I give you above.
Yeah, above. Nice. Because of the reason I gave you above. I'm going to ngakpa. Let's go to the third line. I'm going to ngakpa.
I'm going to praise you.
Yeah, I'm going to praise you, Mr. Tumba.
Mr. Teacher.
Yeah, because you gave the temba.
You gave the teaching
about the real nature, nelug, of seeds, of how things occur. Seeds. Okay, you spoke about the ultimate nature of how things occur through seeds. That's so cool. I'm so cool. That's Lepangashing. And the way seeds work is mepa.
Is nothing? Maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't exist at all. Okay, the way seeds work doesn't exist at all. If you think it works through some nature of its own, you didn't tonga.
You didn't see.
You didn't understand it. You didn't understand. The fact that things come from seeds does not happen through any nature of its own, and that's its emptiness. Okay, it doesn't have its own nature. Okay, and that's the emptiness of dependence, and that's why we should praise Lord Buddha, because he's the only person who mentions the two in the same word, in the same breath. Okay. All right, Gibson, we got a little time. Let's pick on somebody.
Okay, Xiaoping.
Ooh. She thought they are relaxing in
Gibson Ki, Rangshin Ki, Dongpa Sung, Suk La Shi, Chotam Che Dok Ne, Chuk Pe, Dendrel Du Dempa, Dendrel Du Chupe, Rangshin Ki, Dongpa Zempa, Rangshin Ki, Juna Mian Yamde, Sok Mi Rumpa Dempa, Sunde Namla, Jowa,
Goa.
Goa, Shen Ki, Gu, Shen Ki, Da Mi Nienpa Dempao.
Lock me nepa. Okay, we're 3 minutes away from. We're gonna be having a 15-minute discussion. Gibson's gonna lead it. Grandpa's gonna relax. And you're gonna discuss how on earth can you use today's class in your real life, okay? How can you use today's class in your real life? So start thinking about how you're gonna answer that question when Gibson calls on you. All right, here we go. Nipa, second part. Chitam Che Tendel Yin. Gibson, all?
Everything is depend on seed.
Yeah, everything depends on seeds. And because of that reason, we say that everything is empty, okay? Because things depend on seeds, they are empty, okay? And Lord Buddha described that in 4 different ways, okay? If it comes from seeds, it's empty, okay? And he described that in 4 different ways. Number 1, everything is drub. Sugang. Yeah. Everything relies on other things. Use the word rely. Yeah, and that's the definition of dendo. Okay, dependence means all things rely on other things. Okay, that's the definition of dependence. Things rely on other things. Okay, dendo depemba. First, you're going to say all things rely on other things. Therefore, they are dependent. Okay. Number 2, because they are dependent, they are rangshin tomba.
They don't have any nature from its own.
Yeah, and rangshin ki dubna. If they did rangshin ki dubna,
okay. If they did, don't have any nature of its own.
If they
did have nature.
If they did exist through some nature of their own, you couldn't have nyangen le depa. That would be impossible. Okay. If things existed from their own side, you could never stop your pain. No human being could ever stop their pain if that pain is coming from its own side. Okay, got it? And these kinds of statements Lak minyepa. Lak minyepa is an idiom. What's it mean, you guys? Lak minyepa means people can't argue. They are unarguable. Okay. Lak minyepa means if someone tries to fight you, it's hopeless. Lak minye means it's hopeless. Who? For who? For them. Okay. Someone try to deny these three ideas. Lak minye. That hopeless job. Hopeless job. Okay. Hopeless task. What? Try to fight me on these ideas. What ideas? Number one, everything depends on seeds. Number two, depending on seeds is the real meaning of emptiness. And number three, if it didn't depend on seeds, nirvana would be impossible. Okay. And number four, listen, I don't care how long you fight me, you're never gonna, you can't hurt me one bit. Okay. It's hopeless. Fighting against those first three ideas is a hopeless job. Okay. Got it? All right. I'm turning it over to Mr. Gibson, and I'm going to lay down on the couch and take a nap. Okay. Stop here. Go, Gibson.
Okay, so does anyone want to share your opinion that today is very special class because Lama Quicksilver and Zedong Kabbalah are saying that because things are empty, so it can C can work perfectly. But for those people who think they only need to learn the dependent without the emptiness, they will fail. So can anyone give you your daily example on what if you only use the C without emptiness? Or do you have any opinion from today's class? Nick, do you have?
Well, you put me on the spot there.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Because I usually do. I'm gonna have to sit with it for a minute and see if something
help you out there, Nick?
My life tool gears.
Yeah. How about Ben?
What's the
problem?
Earl's got an idea. I want to hear from Earl.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I was just trying to help out my buddy Nick there.
Appreciate that.
Gibson, I was thinking that it's the opposite of what we had in Saturday's class with Adam's class, where they're saying when it's an idea, like the idea cup doesn't really do anything. It's not really substantial. And that felt really comfortable for me, since that class. It's like, I don't really feel like ideas do something. I don't really feel like I can drink out of an idea. And now this class, we're doing the opposite. You can only drink out of an idea. And so, I don't know, it's just cool how those two classes fit together. And now we have a different, we have to warp our mind around that. You can only drink from an idea. That's what I was thinking.
Cool. And at the very end of the class, he say, if you think that everything have nature, that you couldn't reach nirvana. So why think it's 90 and we couldn't reach nirvana?
People in this room are jumping up to answer.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. You give me a number between 1 and 10.
3.
10. Okay, here's a question, Shinten. Come on. He says it's not enough to think that things come from seeds. you got to see that they're empty also. So what can you imagine a person who just understands seeds, but they don't understand emptiness? What's the problem?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a problem.
It is a
They just understand seeds, but they don't think of emptiness. Now, I'll give you a clue.
Sure.
A person who understands emptiness is always aware that nothing doesn't come from seeds.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So
The seeds are self-existent.
they might use seeds sometimes,
Yeah.
but not all the time. You know, if someone really irritates them, they will forget the seeds.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the good things come from seeds.
Yeah. I think, if they want to get some more money, they will be generous. But when somebody's giving them trouble, they don't think
They will
about
forget
seeds.
about seeds.
They'll forget about seeds. And then, so I think if you're not thinking about emptiness, when you're thinking about seeds, you're not aware that everything comes from seeds. And emptiness means nothing doesn't come from seeds. So then in every situation in your life, every emotional situation, you would think about what's the seeds? Why did this come to me? So, see what I mean? You wouldn't just use it for more money or a cute husband or something like that. You would use it all the time. I think, if you had an awareness of emptiness also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you answer it already?
You want to say anything?
No, but I'm just thinking about
Yeah.
the third one is this: if they will not going to understand about, there will be no nirvana.
What's that? How do you explain that?
So I'm thinking about if, for example, if we know that everything is coming from itself, then there will be no nirvana. So it's like, for example, me, when I look at Sugan, so like with I forgot about the emptiness of it, then I will not see the result of happiness that I want, because there will be no happiness.
Okay. No nirvana without understanding seeds.
Yeah.
Wouldn't change.
Or change?
The problem wouldn't change.
Oh, the problem, Jose says the problem wouldn't change.
Like suffering is not coming from seeds.
Come up here and
Yeah.
say it yourself.
It's like,
Okay,
yeah.
No, wait, you stay here. He comes here.
Here you go.
Grandpa takes him up real break.
We'll see what happens. Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
So if the problem would be like a self-existent problem, you wouldn't have the capability, and the problem is not coming from you, and the problem is a problem in its own. The problem would stay the problem forever.
yeah, we cannot fix it.
Would not change.
Yeah.
Like if the pen was a pen as a pen, then nobody could see the pen in a different way, and the dog would not chew on it. So the problem, if it was a problem of suffering from its own side, then you wouldn't be able to see it in a different way.
Or finding solution of the problem.
Right, because
Everything's
yeah.
Ooh. And in today's class, at the very beginning, that Jason Kappa say the first three schools of the Buddhism. If you tell them that if you think about dependent, then everything, I forgot what is the content. If you refer to, if you think those people couldn't see that dependent is emptiness for the first three schools in the Buddhism, I don't fully understand that. Can anyone give some explanation that because in that verse, Buddha say if you see that dependent is emptiness, that the first three Buddhism school and river school couldn't see that.
Yeah, it was like this. The way the text said it was that there was a logical statement. Someone made a logical statement. What? Let's take all things. They are empty because they are dependent. Okay? Let's take all things. They are empty because they are dependent. And the lower school, three schools say not necessarily so. Just because they're dependent doesn't mean they're empty. And then he said the non-Buddhists, the river school, if you say the same argument to them, let's take all things, they're empty because they are dependent, they would say, we don't even agree that they're dependent. We don't even agree that they're coming from cause and effect. What would they say? What do the river schools say stuff comes from? Yeah, some guy made it. Somebody made it. Okay, some big guy made it. So if you say to them, let's consider all things, they are empty because they come from cause and effect. They say, we disagree. It doesn't come from dependence. It comes from somebody made it. Some big guy made it. Okay, got it? The non-Buddhist. Like you can say the Sankhya, or you can say the Brahmanical schools, or you can say the Ishvara schools. But they all say there's some big guy who made stuff. So the same argument to them, let's take all things that are empty because they're dependent. They would say, we don't even agree with your reason. We don't say they're dependent. They don't come from causes. Okay. And then Buddhists, the lower Buddhists would say, just because they're dependent doesn't mean they're empty. If they're dependent, they are not empty. Okay. They have content. Okay, cool.
So the independent branch of the middle way, independent branch of the, how to say, the fourth school, they accept.
Yeah. Now,
they accept that.
That's a good question. So let's do it this way. There's 4 Buddhist schools, classical schools in India. The first 3 say if something works, it's real. And that leaves out the whole 4th school. The 4th school has 2 parts, right? Lower middle way, higher middle way. What does the lower middle way say about things really existing from their own side? If they perform a function, they have to not be empty. Why does the 4th school, lower half of the school, say that if things perform a function, they may be empty? Why do they fudge? Why do they split their opinion? The lower 3 schools of Buddhism, which is Abhidharma school, logic school, and mind-only school. If something does something, it's real. 4.5 school, lower half of the 4th school, if something performs a function, it could be real, but I'm not sure. Upper half of the 4th school, if it performs a function, it's definitely not real. Why would the lower half of the 4th school, why didn't they become part of the functionalist school? Why don't they agree with the lower 3 schools? What is different about the lower middle way school about things coming from their own side? Yeah, good. Yeah, Rebecca said, Gibson, that 50% of stuff is coming from its own side and 50% of stuff is coming from my side. Therefore, just because something functions doesn't prove it's 100% real. It's still only 50% real. In the highest school, 4B, things are real and no percent comes from its own side. The color and shape of the pen is also coming from your seeds. The lower middle way school says the color and the shape of the pen is real. It's coming from its own side, but you interpret it as a pen or you interpret it as a chitoy. Cool. Yeah. How do you use that in your real life? It's not a question of how you respond to an asshole. Okay? it's not like do you hate them or do you like them. It's do you understand where they're coming from, you know, and do you understand why their mother loves them, you know, right? Like, it's not that Buddhism doesn't mean that people are stupid and cruel and you're supposed to try to think of them as nice. It doesn't say that. You know, the cruelty and stupidity of mankind is coming from you also. It's not that you're supposed to be tolerant. It's that you're supposed to understand where it's all really coming from. It's not to be, the goal is not to be tolerant of stupid and cruel people. The goal is to stop them by not being cruel and stupid yourself. Okay, cool. All right, we gotta go to the, no, we're not going downstairs. I got an important thing going on. I got the Peachtree World News Show. Right, Nick?
Thank you, Ken.
Don't I?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time for the Peachtree World News, and Hasso looks ready as an anchorman.
Also, you're getting more and more elegant every day. I don't know.
Thank you, Geshe. I learned it from you.
Oh, I don't believe that.
How's it going in Sedona? Are you still feeling the winter approaching or no?
My wife asked me why I don't grow a mustache like Hasso. I said, I don't know. It's all the old guys, when they get bald, they start growing mustache. So I refuse. Okay.
Okay. So
By the
today
way,
we have a.
I got Nori. Who's your first part of your show, Hasso?
We have a special guest, and he's with us, Earl. He's also growing a mustache like me. So, well, not really. But we want to welcome Earl because he has a very interesting event happening soon. Well, there is one thing happening for New Year's event, and then in January as well. So we have Earl to talk about it. Welcome, Earl. How are you?
Good. Thanks, Hasso. Thank you, Geshe Michael, Gibson. Yeah, 2 events I am super happy to talk about. Hope we can put our fancy asset up. The first one is a retreat at Diamond Mountain. Geshe Michael has been saying, do retreat at Diamond Mountain, do retreat at Diamond Mountain. And I've been kind of having all this pride, like, yeah, I did that. I did retreat at Diamond Mountain. Then I realized it's been 8 years since I took his advice to do retreat at Diamond Mountain. So I'm guilty of not using that amazing facility. And so I decided to lead a retreat there over New Year's. And me and my yoga teacher, Lisa Shrimp, will lead a retreat on the practices of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, which Geshe taught, a couple months ago. And they focus on a few things: the asanas, all of the main pranayamas of Hatha Yoga. We'll focus on meditation, and we'll focus on the Shat Karmas. So the Pradipika is the quintessential text on using our body to change our mind, using the connection between our prana and our thoughts. So we use our body to change our mind. A lot of the Raja Yoga text of the Yoga Sutra, we're using our mind to affect our mind. And that's great, but that's hard. And so the Hatha Yoga text, we're using our body to affect our mind. And so we'll be using sorry, translators, I'll slow down. We'll be using the Hatha Yoga practices, asana, pranayama, meditation, and the Shat Karma to purify the body, purify the mind. So we'll bring in the New Year's with a clean body, clean mind, clean motivation, clear intention. And that's December 28th to January 2nd. It's limited to 15 people. We are keeping it small so that it can be a very intimate experience. And it's going to be time to have some instruction and then go to the retreat cabin and do a retreat. We're not going to fill the day with talking. It's going to be time to actually, learn a little bit and then go to the cabin and spend time in it, because that's the beauty of Diamond Mountain as a retreat center. Next one, real quick, Hatha Yoga Pradipika 3, the following chapter, we'll be studying January 18 to 29 with Geshe Michael. It's called Chakra Doors and Sacred Sounds. Sacred Sounds is yoga. And this is really bridging into a lot of the Diamond Way teachings. So if you want to go check that out without having to do 10 years of the preliminaries, here's your chance to see them. Here's some of the topics. It's really an amazing course. Introduction to Tumo or Kundalini. And a very specific part on the Great Seal Mahamudra. Something called Mahaveda, which is translated as lock and spear, which is, Geshe talks about how to defeat age and death. So already there's enough material. If you miss it, you're crazy. Something called Sky Dancer or Kechari, which is very connected to our main Diamond Way practices. We're going to learn how to fly. Geshe will teach that. Making reality free of duality. And then we get into chapter 4, which is the teachings on emptiness. Make easy path to emptiness, the 4 stages of inner yoga, and sounds of the center channels. So the yoga, the Pradipika, to really learn that, it's one thing. We need a master translator, but to really understand that chapter, we need a master translator who's done 3 retreat. And so we're so lucky to have a teacher like Geshe, who not only can translate these things, but spent 3 years with this text and did them in retreat. And I really don't think you can teach this text properly without having done deep retreat for a long time. And so it's incredibly rare to have that combination of someone that understands the philosophy, someone that can translate it, but also has really done the practice. And so it's, I don't know, just so appreciative that I get to study this with you again, Geshe Michael, and really looking forward to it, and really encourage people that if you can go to it, don't miss the opportunity. Thanks, Hasso.
Thank you very much, Errol. And best wishes during New Year's for that amazing retreat to learn the Kriyas. Awesome. So next we're gonna go with a special report that our friends Noor, Anatol, Aisha are gonna talk about. And for this segment, Geshe Michael is gonna be leading us into this news.
Okay, welcome. So Noor is in charge of the charity of DCI Global and SCIM. DCI and SCIM give away 12% of their gross income. For example, last December, Noor had the pleasure of giving away $250,000 to different charities around the world. And she's giving away money just about every week. And I don't know why, but Hasso asked us to talk about one charity project. Or maybe you want to describe a few of the things you're working on in the last few months, and let us know what you're giving money away to and how can we help.
Thank you so much, Geshe. Actually, Geshe is giving the money away.
Everybody who works for us
exactly
is giving.
It's I always think about it as it's Geshe's time and effort that and also Seiji's work that they put together, and they put a lot of hours of work and travels. So actually, it's their own contribution. I'm just the hand to give it away, which is a pleasure. It's a great pleasure. Geshe mentioned last December, but up until now, we almost gave 200,000 this year.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So
can you tell us some of the things you're giving away money?
Yeah,
maybe we have our own charity. Maybe we got to ask.
So this year was super, it was full of disasters, let's say, that we took responsibility to move and help in. So starting with the earthquake in Syria, and then another earthquake in Morocco, and now a hurricane in Mexico. So we are trying to keep our eyes open and take responsibility to help in the environmental issues, as well as the social issues, like we support education. Green Stretch Pen is our main karmic partner in this. Also, we support saving the ancient wisdom. So our main two partners are ALL and DCC, and the Spanish translation program in Mexico. And this particular 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about the unfortunate hurricane that happened in Mexico last week. So we received an email from our friend Anatol and Aisha. They are in Mexico and they have friends who were super affected, and they called for help. And Geshe Michael immediately answered for that and connected us. So DCIG had the pleasure to jump in, and we chose a list of 6 organizations that we can distribute the donation among them. So among them is Red Cross Mexico, and many other organizations. You can see the QR code here, and we felt that we need to do something and help. So this is the news for this particular week. And I would not take more time now because I know Geshe has another class, but I would be very happy to join Peachtree Morning Show in December or November and talk more about all what we did through 2023.
Thank you very much, Noor. Thank you, Geshe, for everything you're doing. Lastly, we want to just remind people to invite you. As you know, we have been working with this new project, Peachtree World News, for the last year almost. We almost have a year. And every month we have a long program where we share more content in depth. So tomorrow, Tuesday, 7 November, we're going to have one of our monthly programs. These programs are 1 hour long, 1 hour and 15 minutes. And one of the topics we're going to be having is Geshe Michael sharing with us, as well with Stanley Chen, a little bit about what you're doing in the Sedona College these days with the advanced level, number 3. We're going to be talking with the Mexico, Guadalajara people who just went to a Latin America tour to hear how did it go. And we're going to have many other news, general news about what's happening in the more than 12 organizations of the Worldview Network. So I just want to share with you this poster. So if you want to sign in for the event, it's tomorrow at 6 a.m. Arizona time. If you want to be live in studio, which means Peachtree Cafe, you have to talk to Daniel Garcia and see if you can make it. I'm just going to share with you the poster. You can watch online, or if you are in the area, you can attend live, but it's a limited spaces online. So check it out. This is the poster. Those are the things we're going to have. And I really encourage you to go. We're almost about to be 1 year old on this project. We started on December last year. So do you want to add anything, Geshe?
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a great show tomorrow morning. We're going to have virtual cinnamon rolls. Everybody on the call is going to have virtual cinnamon rolls. So please be sure to come.
Thank you so much, Geshe. Thank you, Juan. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you, and see you tomorrow if you come to the show. Geshe Michael's going to be there, we hope. Thank you.
Let's go see Noor's handsome husband, Sergey. Yeah. So Seiji I think Seiji wants to do the show here. Downstairs? Okay, we're going downstairs. Grandpa's going downstairs. I'll be right back.
For the people in SEM, since we finished late, we're going to push the next class 10 minutes. So we start at 8:40.
Okay. And this class?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
well, they're connected.
See you.